The name changing thing is it's a common thing now, right? So with your career,
Yeah.
you debut as War Machine,
Yeah.
then War Raiders,
Yeah.
then the Viking Experience,
Yeah.
which people did not like very much.
They still don't like it.
That's true. And now it's the Viking Raiders.
Yes.
Why so many name changes?
We knew coming into NXT that our names would have to change. Mainly because right around the time that Ring of Honor named this War Machine, there was an MMA fighter who got in a lot of trouble for a lot of things. We don't want to mention it.
Yes.
So we had the conversation with Triple H, and he said, I can't have kids Googling that, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So we
don't Google it.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't. It's not worth your time. So we're like, all right. So then we came up with a bunch of names, and War Raiders is what was settled on. So we had a little bit of the element from the Indies, where we were War Machine, and a little bit more Viking going forward with the Raiders. No problem. And the fans were fine with it. They were fine with it. And I think we asked if we could keep our Hanson and Rowe names because of we were associated with that, with the titles in New Japan and Ring of Honor. So people did search us. They all pop up. So there's lineage. And Hunter was totally cool with that. So that's how it started. But when we got called up, yeah, that was a little rough. And the way the story goes is Vince loves Vikings. So he found out there was a team in NXT that were Vikings. And he's like, yes, I want them. And now he wanted Viking in our name. And they couldn't pass anything through legal. There's already a Vikings football team. There's already a Vikings TV show. So none of the names they were trying, whatever they were getting through. And then somebody, I won't say who, because it was asked in the meeting, what are they? How to describe them? And then somebody describes us as they're this, they're that, they're like a Viking Experience. And it was that's it. They're the Viking Experience. And not one person was happy or okay with that except for the one man. So we were stuck. And then our debut, we find out last minute that we're coming in. We get flight cancellations. We don't land it was in Montreal. We don't land internationally in Montreal until I didn't get into the building until almost 5 p.m. The day of our debut. So we couldn't even talk to him. We get there and we see on the Tron Viking Experience. We're like, oh man, what is going on? So we went to talk to him and be like, look, we can't be this amusement park ride name. And we talked to him and he respect. And we went there and we were told about the whole Viking thing. So we were told if you're going to pitch names, just make sure it says Viking in it. So we had 6 or 7 names, Viking names that we had picked. We'd already given up on our regular names, Eric and Ivar. No problem, whatever.
So on top of the tag team having a different name, you've got different names now too.
Yeah, and that wasn't worth even trying. So we're just trying to change because the tag name was so bad. It was awful.
It still is.
It still is. It haunts us to this day. And when we were listing off these names, we got to Viking Raiders, and he stopped us and said, "Look, this is how we're gonna introduce you to the audience, the main roster audience, and if it doesn't work, we'll change it going forward." And literally 2 days later on the website, it changed.
So you were Viking Experience for,
I think, 3 days.
So one show.
Yeah, one show, 3 days, and it haunts us to this day.
The tweets after this, that came out, it was bad.
It's bad then. It's still bad now.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah.
It's fine though. It's fine. At least everybody remembers it, right?
They do. Ivar's not bad.
No, it's not bad. So the other thing too is he didn't care who was who.
Oh my gosh.
And so we had to have the discussion.
Was he
right
pick a
afterwards.
name out of a hat?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you Google top Viking names, you see Eric and Ivar. But so it was. He didn't care which one of us was which. So we get to talk to him, and I looked at Ray at the time, and I'm like, Ray, I can't be my brother's name going forward because my brother's name is Eric, E-R-I-K, spelled exactly the same. Please. He's like, okay, yeah, you can be Ivar, I'll be Eric.